Movement is back in Modern Warfare 3. Here are 5 movement methods you need to master to compete in the new Call of Duty. Number 1 is settings. Before we even get into the movement mechanics, we have to make sure our settings are correct. Go to either controller or keyboard and mouse depending on your input, and we're going to scroll over to gameplay on the right. Scroll down to tactical sprint behavior and make sure it's on single tap run. This makes it so that you reach full attack sprint with only one press of the sprint button, and will be really important for the snaking mechanic that we'll talk about by the end of this video. Up next, there are 2 slide settings that you're going to need to change. Scroll down to slide and dive behavior, and you want to switch this to slide only. Now, dolphin diving is kind of important, yes, but at least on controller, you can't map different inputs for slide and dive. So if you have tap to slide on, there's a delay between when you tap circle and when you actually slide in game. Having this on slide only completely gets rid of that input delay. It makes it so that the second you press the slide button, you slide. The other slide setting we need to change is down here at Slide Cancel Sprint. You want to turn this off. They added this so that if you press the sprint button while you're sliding, it'll cancel the slide for you. It's not a bad setting. I see the intention there, but for people that run automatic tactical sprint, it's very possible that holding the left analog stick down could really mess with your slide and make you cancel it when you're not trying to. So for the sake of fully deciding when you're canceling your sprint, make sure to have this setting off. And now that we're done with the settings, we can talk about movement tip number 2, which is the slide cancel. It's different than the slide cancel in previous Call of Duties, and if you didn't grind the beta, there's some muscle memory you have to get down. It's no longer slide X to cancel your slide. You only need to press 2 buttons, which is the slide button and the jump button. Over time, this will definitely save your hands by not having to press as many inputs, and it's easier because with one button, you're able to both stop your slide and get back into the standing position. This is most useful in game if you're slide canceling behind a head glitch. That way you have the peeker's advantage from coming underneath the head glitch as you're going up. One thing that we'll talk about as well is that slide canceling no longer resets the tactical sprint in the game. The best way to reset your tactical sprint is just to keep running. It's kind of broken in the game right now, but an update should be coming out soon to fully fix the tac sprint, and it'll feel back to normal. And I think the intention of this is instead of spamming the slide cancel, you're meant to use it situationally and tactically. So if you're trying to get somewhere fast on the map, do not spam the slide cancel like you have in previous Call of Duties to reset your tac sprint. Just keep running. Generally, how I like to use my slide cancel is around corners, underneath head glitches, and anywhere where I'm expecting an opponent to be. What we also need to discuss is the tac stance. You'll see a lot of people that go into this half aiming position before their slide is all the way done. What this means is that you're aiming in before you're done with your slide cancel. So if you go slide, aim, and then jump, it goes into that awkward half ADS position, and it just kind of throws off your aim and makes things super weird when you're trying to get the jump on an opponent. If you're getting too much of this tac stance, what you need to do is make sure that you're hitting your jump button before you aim in. There's going to be a little bit if you're doing a super fast slide cancel. Like on my inputs now, I'm going slide, jump, aim, slide, jump, aim, slide, jump, aim, slide, jump, aim. There's a little bit of tac stance that y'all are seeing, but for the most part, I go directly into ADS, which is the important part of this. If I go into a longer slide before canceling and aiming in, this is what that looks like. So it snaps immediately into that ADS, just like that. Long slide, jump, aim, just like that. If I did long slide, aim, jump, it would look like this. Still fine, not the end of the world, but it just looks a little more clunky and might throw off your aim if you're trying to take people off guard. Tip number 3 is the slide drop shot. Drop shotting in general is already an important movement mechanic, so we're going to combine that with a slide cancel from earlier by adding it to the end of the slide cancel. For the mechanics of this, I recommend staying with the slide and jump for the slide cancel rather than going circle, circle, circle for slide, slide cancel, and then drop shot. The reason I recommend this is because you want your muscle memory for each slide cancel to be the same, and you want to be able to add the drop shot slide cancel in situationally. Basically what I mean is if you slide around a corner and decide halfway that you don't want to end in the standing position, you want to end in the drop shot position, your brain might already be ready to press the jump button like you would in a regular slide cancel. So to stop me from panicking and button mashing every single time I slide cancel, I slide drop shot, or I slide bunny hop, which we're going to talk about later, every single slide cancel is circle X or slide jump. And what that means for the slide drop shot is that it's circle X and then circle again. So tap circle, tap X, hold circle. Or if y'all don't play default, it's tap slide, tap jump, hold prone, slide jump prone, slide jump prone. I'll show you guys what it looks like from the enemy's perspective. For whatever reason, when you pair all of these together, the drop shot is almost instantaneous. It's already really good in the game, but when you pair it with the slide cancel, it's insane. So if you add this one on top of the slide cancel and then the next one that we'll talk about as well, your opponents are never going to be able to predict your next move mid gunfight. Tip number 4 is the bunny hop, or more specifically, the slide cancel into bunny hop. This is what it looks like from the opponent's POV, and essentially what you're doing is a normal slide cancel with a slide and jump. However, this time you're going to keep on spamming spamming that jump button once you're done with the slide cancel. It doesn't look crazy from my point of view, but as y'all saw from the opponent's point of view, it looks absolutely disgusting. And like we talked about earlier, if you mix it up and every now and then do the slide jump, every now and then do the slide drop, your opponents are going to have no idea where you're going mid gunfight. Another benefit of this one is that the slide drop shot kind of stops you in your tracks. It's good if you're sliding into a tight corridor because there's nowhere else for you to go. But with the slide bunny hop, obviously we have a large playing field here, but with the slide bunny hop, you can kind of continue going and going. That way, if your opponent's trying to track you from the left to the right, they're not going to know when to stop. So again, it's slide, then jump to cancel the slide, and then you keep spamming jump. Another point I need to make, if you're somebody who jump shots a lot or bunny hops a lot, you might want to start rocking the assault gloves. I pretty much run them on all my classes right now, either that one or the marksman gloves, just because both accuracy and time to ADS while jumping are improved. You still stay fairly accurate while you're jump shotting in general, but those gloves will help even more. So now what you need to practice is getting the muscle memory down for those last 3 points, the slide cancel, the slide drop shot, and then the slide bunny hop. That way you can use them situationally wherever you prefer. Movement tip number 5, the cheesiest one of the bunch, is the snake. Here's what it looks like from the opponent's point of view, both from the forward angle and from the side angle. It looks crazy even without being on a head glitch, but once you're snaking on top of a head glitch, it's even worse. So take this angle for example. If somebody for some reason was on top of the map over here, so I could just be snaking like this and giving them peeks, and I'm not showing up long enough for them to actually hit with any bullets unless they're pre-firing me. If you're worried about a pre-fire, what you can do, if you see on my controller cam in the bottom right, is I'm just strafing left and right while still snaking. If y'all haven't learned snaking yet, pretty much what it is you hold the prone button. The second that your character goes into the prone animation, you're gonna tap the sprint button on your left. Like we talked about earlier with getting the settings right, if you pair this with a single tap run, basically that means one press of the button and you're in full attack sprint. This makes the snaking even faster and more lethal. So as you see, the second that my hand starts to go down into the left into that prone animation, that's when I'm tapping the sprint button. And here's what it looks like. Again, here's what it looks like from the opponent's POV. It's so overpowered in this game that cracked individuals will literally snake nothing. Because if you're just standing in open air, it's better for your body to be moving than just completely stationary. And kind of how we talked about before, if you're snaking nothing, as cheesy as it sounds, and somebody comes around the corner, you're already halfway into a drop shot or you're already halfway into a jump shot. So even if I'm standing doing nothing, it's better for me to be moving than just stationary. That way I'm already halfway into the movement mechanic that I'll use to break their ankles. It sounds super cheesy, I know, but if other people can use it against you, you might as well use it against them. I really hope that one day Sledgehammer or Treyarch or Infinity Ward will be able to fully patch snaking and make it so that it's not completely overpowered. As cheesy as it is, it's in the game for now, and it's definitely in the movement meta, so be sure to learn snaking. And those are the 5 movement methods for Modern Warfare 3. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you learned something, you have to like, you have to subscribe. I guess you don't have to, but I'd appreciate it. I will do more videos like this one, so stay tuned for those, and I will catch you all next time at lunchtime.